Bienvenidos, a lifestyle of smiles, the exhilarating YouTube journey of a daring American father who's made the leap to start anew in the Dominican Republic. Dive into a world where cultures collide as he explores the rhythm of island life, learns the language, aprendiendo español, and embraces the thrilling dating scene. From the lively calles of Santo Domingo to the tranquil playas, every episode is an adventure. Join Dia for fiestas, sabrosa, comida, and genuine insight into parenting abroad.
What's going down? It's the idea. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We're gonna have us a real good conversation. And one thing I do want to talk about since the video has dropped with my day trip to Punta Cana and me explaining some of the things I was up there doing, and y'all got to see some of the visuals and me going out on a date and stuff like that. But what I want to do is I want to talk about dating here in the Dominican Republic so that everybody can have a good sense of what really goes on here. The same things that happen in the States when it comes to dating and stuff happen here as well. It's not really too much different on the dating scene when it comes to having to vet a person and having to, go out on dates to really get to know someone. You have to still do those things here. You can't just show up and get with the first person that you see, the most attractive person that you meet. This is for women and men, and say, well, oh, this is the person for me, because it doesn't always work that way. So we all are accustomed to individuals who will want to go out for foodie dates. And I actually got a story on this. And this is pretty much what happened. I had met this woman out in National District. I think I might have been at the mall when I had met her. I think I might have met her at the mall, and I got a number and stuff, and we would get the text and everything like that. And so I ended up hooking up with her for a date, and I was like, okay, let's go out on a date. I get to know you, and I got to know a little bit more on some of the issues and things that she had going on in life. So when it came to the second date, I was like, well, we'll go to the park or something. And she wasn't feeling the situation. She was like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to be free or anything like that. But then I was like, hey, well, I got this restaurant, I want to go to and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, I can definitely, come and do that. And that's no problem. And so what I did was I was like, well, I can't date you and deal with you like that no more. You're a cool person and whatnot, but I understand that, the reason why you want to jump and go somewhere else as far as a restaurant, because that's your thing. That's what a foodie date is. Somebody who just wants to go out and, just go to a restaurant, go get something to eat, whatever, and then go on about their business. Those things happen here too. I've experienced it. Freaking situations where you get into with friends on it. That stuff goes on here too. But I'm 29 years old now, and a lot of things that I used to deal with in my early 20s, I can spot out early now when I'm, first getting to talk to somebody and I'm first going on a date. That's why every time I go on a date, I have a minimum of 3 dates that I must take somebody on before I can really want to start dating them on a routine basis. And that's so that I can vet them out to be able to see, like, is this person really into me? Is this person just around just to be around? And with that method, for me, it has actually worked out, because a lot of dates that I go on, they don't get past the first date. And I just tell them, like, hey, our situations don't align. You know what I'm saying? What I want for my future is different than what you want for your future. It's not that they're a bad person, that they're a street girl or anything like that. It's nothing like that at all. You know what I'm saying? There's some real decent women that I'm going out with. It's just sometimes individuals have things going on in their life that if I was to date them seriously, I would have to pick up that extra slack and that baggage that I may not be willing to take on. And when I talk to younger guys about living here and moving here, I always tell them, like, take your time, dude. Like, don't rush to be in a relationship with anybody here. Always go out with them and keep it casual until you feel like you're in a position with somebody who wants to actually, be with you for you, because you really don't know anybody off only dating them, 3 times out the month. You really don't know anybody. I mean, you can text and talk on the phone and it FaceTime, but if you don't even know the language or culture, you really don't know this person, and you don't know what's tradition and what's not tradition. And I actually spoke about this, how when I first moved here, I was going on a lot of dates. Like, for the first, it might have been the first 4 months that I was here, I was going on a date almost every day with somebody different. And then I was just here. I was having fun. I was, attending the university and stuff, and I was working on a food truck and everything. So I was meeting so many different people on a daily basis, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to go out. Shoot, let's go to the park. Let's go over to the Melicone. Let's walk down to Conde, and let's go to Churchill and walk here and do this and do that. And I was just, having fun and just meeting people and seeing people from all different walks of life. And that's how I ended up figuring out that a lot of the dating stuff that goes on here is the same things that go on in the States. That's why it's very important for you to vet and to be able to sit back and say, well, I'm going to just take my time until I'm in a position to really be with somebody on a serious matter, especially when you're talking about coming here to be with somebody, to be in a relationship with somebody here. You really need to think that through, because there's a lot to it that never really gets explained. Like, for instance, I had a chick that I was dating in Azua one time. We was dating for a little bit, and she was still going to the university. She was working on her first degree and whatnot, and she just really got to going, and she was working in tourism as well. And so all of that's fine and dandy, wasn't no issues. But the issue came in to where she was having problems with paying bills, and she had a car, she had a place, and I think she might have told. This is a weird thing. This is a kind of a strange story with her, because I ended up finding out she had a child, but I didn't know initially, this is the real reason why I stopped speaking to her, because when we first went on a date, before I even go on a date with somebody, I let them know, like, man, I have 4 daughters. You know what I'm saying? And that's my baggage that I come with. And I know a lot of people may feel like, oh man, you can't claim kids as baggage, but no. In reality, that's real deal baggage. Somebody you trying to date needs to know this up front, because I've met a lot of women when I was still dating in the States before I had left, who did not deal with men who had children. They just, some women and some men just refuse to, date individuals who are parents. And I fully understand that you can have your own preference, and that's cool. I never knock that. But I'm always forthcoming on the first date to let people know, like, hey, this is what it is, and this is what I'm coming in with. This is what you can expect. You know what I'm saying? More or less. And so, particularly with her, around maybe the 3-month mark, I found out that she had a kid, and we was out on a date, and she was like, oh yeah, my kids is with my mom. And I was like, hold on, what? She was like, yeah, I think I forgot to tell you or something. I'm like, nah, you don't forget to tell nobody that. And I was like, man, it ain't always an issue, but the issue is I done been hanging out with you, dating, going here, going there, and I got to now, what I'm saying, becomes like a shocker. Like, hold on, man, don't tell nobody later. That's why I say I'm always up front, and it really turned me off from the situation, on top of just other things that was going on, because I'm the type of man that believes that I cannot get into a relationship with somebody if I'm not able to make sure that I can help with whatever baggage that they bring to the table. If, like I've said before in my last video, like if she's helping family out, if she has children and stuff like that, all of these things come with a cost. And I'm a certain type of, I was raised a certain type of way, and I'm a certain type of man. I'm very big on providing. But when you very big on providing and you do have a giving heart and stuff like a very giving heart, you can be taken advantage of in the States and in the Dominican Republic. No matter where you go, if that's the type of person you are, you're the type of person that'll get taken advantage of fast if you're not, safe and you're vetting people. But being that I am a certain type of man and I'm big on providing and knowing that I can be taken advantage of, you know, I'm very, aware of this, and I take my time, because if I'm not in a position to pick up slack or to be able to provide a certain type of lifestyle in a certain type of way for a woman, then I'm not going to get into a relationship with somebody. So when you're coming here to date, if you keep that in mind and you keep it casual, you have least amount of problems. And the biggest thing is this: you got to understand that here is a whole different way of life and a whole different way of living. This place gets a bad reputation, especially on the women, because men come here and they say, well, I was with a Dominican woman, and they asked me for this, asked me for that, and they always say it's financial. But here's the deal: if you are with a woman and y'all in a serious relationship and y'all been dating and doing whatever, you should expect her to need help with certain things. You should be expecting to upgrade her lifestyle, because that's what it comes down to. No woman wants to be with a man who cannot help them out the struggle. You know what I mean? I understand that we're in this kind of like this very weird and mixed society right now, where everyone is going their own direction and doing this and doing that, and nobody's really agreeing. But at the end of the day, if you're dating here and you're dating a woman, let's say she comes from the barrio, you live in the National District. Let's say you live in Pantini, one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the National District, and she lives in the barrios of San Cristobal or something. Dirt floor, tin-foil roof. You know what I'm saying? But she's coming back and forth to come visit and spend time with you, and she's like, well, hey babe, can I get some money to help, update my house and do this and do that? And then people get offended and like, oh no, they just want me for my money and doing this and doing that. No, she just want a better way of life. Everybody wants a better life. That's a lot of that. That is the reason why a lot of guys come here to date and try to find wives, because they want to have a better quality of life. And she wants to have a better quality of life. She don't want to have to keep living in the same situation she was living in. Even if you did meet her in Pantini or Bella Vista and she lives there too, she's still gonna want an upgraded life. That's literally how it goes. And that's why I always suggest to guys, like, when you're on these dates, and the first, second, and third date, you need to be having these conversations. You need to be sitting back and saying, well, okay, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to give? What am I willing to take? If she needs $1,000 to do this and to do that, or if she needs money to pay for her kids' school clothes and shoes and stuff at the end of the summertime, are you willing to do that? You really got to ask yourself, are you really willing to do that? And if you're not willing to do these certain things, then just casually date and just keep it that way, so that there is no confusion and there's no issues and heartbreak later on in life. You know what I mean? And as long as you conduct yourself as a stand-up individual and you're positive about the situation and you're vetting, you're not going to have as many issues and problems like you see on YouTube where guys saying like, "Oh, well, I was with a Dominicana and she stole out of my house. You know, she wiped my bank account clean and all of these different things." I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure: when these guys is giving up money and they giving these women money for doing whatever they doing, I can guarantee they're giving it up willingly. It ain't like anybody came in and just took it from them. You know what I'm saying? They want to give, this type of money to them for a reason. And it's to each his own. You do whatever it is that you do. But when you're dating here, you got to understand that they come from a different lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no welfare assistance going around that's paying for this and paying for that. And you know what I'm saying? These women here will literally tell you, yes, I want a man and I need a man. When's the last time, honest to God, when the last time you done heard that? When the last time you done heard that? You know what I'm saying? They don't have incentives by the government to push a man out the household. They want a man in the household because they understand that it takes two to run a household. So when they get with a man, let's say they get with an American man, and I know they got the stigma they want an American man because of money. That's not the case. A lot of them's just looking for a better way and a better life. And if they can find love and a man who's willing to take them out of a situation that they in and put them in a better situation, then that's ideal and perfect for them. And with my situation, use me for instance. Now, right now, I'm not in a financial situation to be in a real serious relationship because if I was to get in a relationship, as I've explained, I'm gonna have to pick up certain things and help out with stuff that my significant other may or may not want to be doing. However, she wants to see our future together and stuff like that. But once I get to the financial situation where I'm comfortable to get into a relationship, then that's what I'm going to do. And y'all will see my journey along the way and, how I kind of conduct things and how I, just go about life. But, I mean, as of now, I've dated quite a lot here. And I've been through multiple situations. I had dated a woman, and she had invited me to a fish fry. And all the guys that I know here, and then guys from YouTube, they was like, "Oh man, don't fall for it. You just the flavor of the day. You the ATM of the day." But it really wasn't like it. She wasn't like that. But I was listening to so much negative feedback and information from different guys that I blew her off. And the craziest thing is this: that she had a good job working at the bank. She had her own place. She had her own car. She never asked me for anything. And I blew her off because everything that people was telling me is like, man, when you go there, they're gonna be asking you to buy this and asking you to do that. And when I went, they didn't ask me for anything. People was happy to, speak to me, and they was buying me drinks and bringing the women was bringing me plates of food to the table and stuff like that. And I literally was there the whole time, a little off, because I was like, okay, so when is all this stuff that everybody was telling me, when is it gonna happen? And it never happened. And after the fact of me blowing off, I ended up seeing her a couple of months later, and a man done proposed to her. A man done lucked up and was like, hold up, you know what I'm saying? How you still walking around her? You know what I'm saying? How you still walking around her? And me and her ended up texting about it and stuff, and she was like, yeah, I really liked you and I wanted to, have a real serious relationship with you and everything. And she was like, but after, I invited you out to meet my family and stuff, she was like, you just, things just changed. She was like, everything was cool before I invited you to meet my family, but after that, it was like, You didn't want to be bothered with me anymore. And the truth is, I didn't, because I really truly believe that, I just believed everything that was being told to me because of just all the bad stories that I would see on YouTube. And like I said, I know other content creators that have been here and that live here and stuff, and they was all telling me the same story. Like it was almost like a cookie cutter story. Like everybody had seemed to have some weird experience with meeting somebody's family and being asked for money and all types of stuff, but it never even happened to me. It didn't. It's never happened to me, honestly. And I've met plenty of people's family members, sisters, and cousins since then. And my take on it is everybody's experience is going to be different. It depends on who they dating and who they dealing with. Now I know it does happen, but it's just never happened to me. I've met a lot of good, decent women, and had some good dates, but a lot of it, like I said, just doesn't go as far because, for one reason or another, for a situation that I'm not willing to take on, I gotta be, honest about a lot of stuff. I'm not the type of person that's gonna string somebody along, and I really don't have any intentions on, being with them in a long term relationship. I'm just not gonna, what I'm saying? I don't even want to be casually dating somebody that I don't see me being able to have a long term relationship with. All the women that I casually date, I can see myself in a serious relationship with at some point. Regardless if it makes it there or not, but I've got to the age to where I don't want to waste no time. I spent a lot of time trying to be with somebody who didn't necessarily want to be with me. So now that I've got through those situations in life and I'm older, it's like, hey, I need to make better decisions. I need to date better, and I need to take my time. And I know that I'm the type of man that is willing to get out here and work 2 and 3 jobs to be able to provide a good life for my children and for the woman that I'm with. And when I have the mindset of knowing that I can change somebody's life and I can make things better for them, I'm not going to settle for anything that is just going to be temporary. I'm not going to settle for something that's just a one night situation. Like if I go out to the bar or something like that, and if I go out to the bars with the guys or something like that, I don't go home with any woman that I meet at the bar, because we go home that night. I'm not going to call you the next day. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even worth me wasting my time when I could just call somebody that I'm casually dating that I know that I can take it there on something serious basis and long term, and I can call her and take her to the bar and spend more time getting to know her than to just, let me do a one night stand here, let me one night stand there. That's not really my thing. I'd rather just develop a relationship with somebody that can be worth my while, if that makes any sense. And if you the type, this is why, how they got the beach towns like Sasua and all that, and guys come and hang out with working girls. This is why I don't hang with them, because I'm a romantic type of guy. I'm big on romance and the whole love situation and stuff like that. I love the thought of love, but I'm not naive and I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying? I know that if you are a part of that, adult entertainment lifestyle, I know that there's nothing that I can personally do that's going to stop you from doing whatever it is that you want to do. And I'm not the type of person that's going to try to change somebody. If that's what you want, then I respect it, let you do your thing, but I don't date them. You know what I'm saying? I stay clear of that, because I know eventually in the relationship something will go left, something will go wrong, and I know how I am as a man, I know how I am as a person. Like I said, I'm very big on love and affection, intimacy, and different things like that. That's why I take my time, dude, and I don't rush to do this and I don't rush to do that. I'd rather just put myself in a situation to where I can say, well, you know what? Hey, it didn't work out. Let me just go on about, let me go this way. She gonna go that way, I'm gonna go this way. Keep the drama and the issues down, because I'm a guest in another person's yard. You know what I'm saying? This country is not of my own, and I don't want to have any issues and problems with anybody. Especially not when it comes to love, happiness, and relationship. I didn't come here to get wrapped up in any drama, any issues. So I keep it light, but eventually I do see myself, you know, finding somebody that's right for me, but they're gonna have to have a whole lot of color. They're gonna have to have y'all know I like that dark skin. They gotta have that dark skin. You know what I'm saying? I like all women. Don't get me wrong. I like all women, but it's something about the dark skin that get me. That's the reason why I haven't made my way over to the continent of Africa yet. Because if I get over and I know I'm gonna run into something that's been kissed by the sun, and I'm gonna be hooked. I already know. I already know how this go. I'll end up going over and never come back. I won't even get back on YouTube. I'm gonna be minding my business. You know what I'm saying? Just minding my business. But all jokes aside, dating her, you still have to keep the same rules that you would in the States. If in the States you wouldn't deal with disrespect, don't come here and deal with it. I've met guys here that, because a woman's beautiful, they deal with the fact that she may or may not be seeing other people. And they'd be like, oh, well, I'm seeing other people, so, it is what it is. And that's really not even the truth of the case. It's just some guys deal with it because they like, man, well, it's the most beautiful person I've ever been with. And it's called pretty privilege. Don't go out like that, man. It's way too many beautiful people on this earth for you to put yourself in a situation to where you feeling less than as an individual because you're with somebody who has betrayed your trust, who has made you feel like you should be privileged to be with them. And I've been in a situation here weird like that, where I was at the mall with this girl, and we was talking about, I can't even really remember what in the world we was talking about, but she blatantly disrespected me, and I didn't even know she could speak English. She blatantly disrespected me at the mall and was like, I see what's going on YouTube, and I know what's going on in the United States, and you should be happy to be with me because I'm beautiful and my body looks like this, and you ain't gonna find nobody look like me. Man, when I tell you I shut that down so fast in front of everybody, I was like, man, don't you ever in your life speak to me like that again. Whatever we got going on in the United States is what we got going on in the States. It should have never even been broadcasted on YouTube in the first place. But one thing is for sure, you're not going down my country, and you're not going down the women of my country. Yeah, we got some issues and we got some misunderstandings going on, but that's between us. It ain't got nothing to do with you. And she's sitting over there and she was looking at me all crazy and stuff, and I left in the mall because I don't care what I've been through with a woman in my own country. I'm not gonna let nobody down them. Just like I don't care what I got, whatever bad things done happen in relationships with me here. I'm not gonna let another American man down a Dominican or Haitian woman. Not in front of me. Not in front of me at all. I'm just not gonna let it go down like that, because a lot of people get caught up in their feelings based off making a mistake of being with somebody who wasn't right for them, and then they cast a dark shadow on the whole clique. All the women are bad. And then you get a whole bunch of people running around going against each other, men saying this, women saying that, and it's completely ridiculous. Ridiculous. All because of a bad relationship. Now everybody's bad. That's why I said, like, I shut the disrespect down, because I wasn't going to allow anybody to speak bad on the women of our country. It's just not going to go down like that. I know I live here. but I'm not gonna allow nobody to speak bad on a Dominican or Haitian woman in front of me. I don't care what it is that you done been through with them. That was your situation. Eat that and keep it on moving. Life goes on. Life is not your past. Keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta keep getting on YouTube and harping on trying to compare Western women to women in other countries. Why does it even matter? You know what I'm saying? Find somebody that you like and that you love and go on with your business. Who cares if you had bad relationships? I done had bad relationships. I done had a lot of bad relationships all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I done had bad relationships all over the place, man. In different countries, all over the place, I done had bad relationships. But I'm not downing a whole section of women because I done had some bad relationships. That was just my fault. I picked some wrong ones. Shoot. I'd been married and divorced twice. You know what I'm saying? I just picked the wrong ones, you know? But I'm not down at nobody because I made mistakes. That was on me. That's all I'm getting at, you know. But I know a lot of individuals will, hear that and still feel the way that they feel. And it's okay to feel the way that you feel. But for me personally, I'm not pushing none of that out. I'm not doing none of that goofy stuff and talking about this person and talking about that person. I'm not doing all that, man. I'm a grown man. I'm steady stepping. Even if I done been through a million bad relationships, I'm steadily stepping. Because I don't believe that there's one true love and one soulmate type of ordeal. I believe that as an individual, we will have many loves of our lives in all different stages, and people are going to love us differently. Everybody doesn't love the same, and some is going to be better than others. I've had loves that were really good that only lasted a short time. I had love that was okay that lasted for a long period of time, but then went bad. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on who you choose. Some people are just not meant for each other. And the sooner we realize that, the better off we're going to be in life. And we wouldn't have to too much worry about what happened to us in the past and this happening and that happening. If that, makes it a little bit more sense to anybody. But you can, no matter where you go in this world, whether it's the Dominican Republic or anywhere else, you can find you some true love, man. It may not last as long as you want it to be, and it may last forever. You never know. Me personally, I think I'm going to have a lot of loves throughout the rest of my life. I'm probably going to fall in love tomorrow with somebody. And 6 months, a year down the line, don't love the person no more. It's all good. It ain't no issue. I'm the type of man that figured, one day in my life I'll have 3 wives at one time, because I'm not the type of person that I'm a get married to somebody and then be out there, still dibbling and dabbling and sleeping with this person, off to the corner with that person. No, I'd rather just have me 3 beautiful wives at home, a whole bunch of kids, maybe a dog running around turning up the carpet or something. But if I'm in a DR with it, then I ain't gonna have no carpet. It's too hot and humid, be mowed, and it's a whole nother story. But I figured one day, that's what I end up doing and having me a whole bunch of children, nice, big, beautiful home. That way, like I said, I'm not going to be stepping out on somebody that I'm married to. And if I'm married and I have 3 wives, them the only women that I'll be sharing my love and affection towards. You know what I'm saying? Because when I am married, I've been in a long-term marriage. My last marriage it lasted 10 years, but I think we might have been together for about maybe 6 or 7 years or something like that. It's a little, y'all know how it is in the States. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit all over the place, but it is what it is. But all I'm saying is that don't judge your future based off your past mistakes when it comes to relationship and love. And in the Dominican Republic, there's so many different options for men and women. I know plenty of sisters that have came down here and found them a Tony, and these sisters are in their 40s, you know what I'm saying? They late 40s, then came down here like Stella, you know what I'm saying? And then got them a Tony. He built up like Arnold in the 80s and stuff. He man, it's not funny, but you know, I get a laugh out of it because when you see somebody coming from the States who have been through some things when it comes to relationship, and then they come here and they find someone that shows them a lot of love and affection, it's like you can see the spark in somebody's eyes. The way that you seen them the first time before they met this person and the way you see them afterwards is a whole different person. They got a pep in their walk. You know what I'm saying? They got that tinkle in their eye. They upbeat. They you seeing them on the scene more often. They here. They there. It's like they get their life back. And if people stuck with the idea of, oh, there's only one soulmate, I'm only gonna love one person, then they wouldn't come here and still be looking for love and happiness. If we want to be completely honest about it, they wouldn't come here and still look for the stuff. Because here's the deal: if you truly believe you've only had one soulmate, they say by the age of 21, you have already met your soulmate. Meaning it's somebody you probably grew up with, done already dated before, and done, you know, had misunderstandings with, and it may not have went good. How could that have been your soulmate if the soulmate theory is real, and that's supposed to be the only person you're supposed to be with? How could that be real? And y'all done just fell off. That's why I don't believe in the whole soulmate thing. No, I just believe in we're gonna have multiple loves, and they're all gonna love us differently. We will love them differently. That's just how it is, and that's how it goes. You know, I love the women I date, and you know, the women I get into serious relationship with. I love them all differently. You know, I'm not saying that I'm in love with them, but I have a lot of affection and strong feelings towards them and different things like that, and I would go out my way for them. But as far as soulmates and all that, no, we're gonna cut that out. But I'm gonna love somebody, and somebody will love me as well, and somebody will love you as well. But you got to be willing to come with a positive attitude and not go off of everything that you see on YouTube and that you hear from other people who have bad experiences. The best thing to do is to get out there and figure it out for yourself and vet, and to take your time and know what the traditions and the culture is surrounded dating and wherever you are. It don't matter if you're here in the DR. It doesn't matter if you went to Mexico. It don't matter if you went to Thailand. You can still go find you a love. You know what I'm saying? If you willing, if you ready and willing, and you got a positive mindset behind it, you can find you somebody. But you need to take your time, and you need to vet the situation. Don't ever go rushing into something and like, oh man, I need to be with this person, because if I don't and I don't get married, you know, things go left. And I know a guy who has came here. He came here, and in his first 30 days he got married to a Dominican woman. And you know, he's head over heels. As far as I know, they still together and it's cool. He's back in the States now, and he comes back and forth and visit, and he sends her money and stuff like that. But that's what works for him and her, you know. And if you're that type of guy, you know, I'm not big on long distance relationships, but I'm not gonna be the one to say they don't work, because I met a woman when I was in Paris that I had dated, and she wanted to see me bad enough, so she came to the Dominican Republic like 6 months after I moved her. She came here to visit me, dude. And when you really want to see somebody and you really want to hang out with somebody and you want to spend time with them, people will not let anything stand in their way. People will not let anything stand in their way to be with the person that they want to be with. And it made me feel good inside. I'm like, dang man, this woman that came all the way. You came from Italy to come see, and she was only down here for a couple of days. down here about 2 3 days, and she went on back home. We had a good time. I showed her around to a few things, and sometimes it just be like that. Some of the best loves that I've ever had was short, and I'm gonna have plenty more. And I don't get caught up when if stuff goes left and it don't go right. You just got to be able to keep steady stepping. Don't get caught up in the negativity of things, because guess what? At the moment, yeah, it hurts when things go left. Your feelings get hurt, and you feel like you wasted time. And I thought this was gonna be the one. It goes like that. Men and women feel the same pain, but you just can't stop being you and living your life. You got to still keep moving. You still got to keep doing the things that make you who you really are in this world. And that's the way that I live my life. And everything that I am and everything that I'm about, when I go on my dates, I tell women that. On the first date, I tell women that, like, hey, I want to have 3 wives. Some women be like, no, I ain't with that. And I respect that. And that'll be the first and last date. Some women that I've met, and what's weird is I've met a lot of women here who's like, shit, I like the idea. I'm cool with that. And, you just got to be upfront with everybody, especially when you got baggage, kids, if you got debt, if you really, you really ain't got nothing going on. Just go on and be honest and tell people what they need to know and what they need to hear. Don't try to hold it until later to build up an emotional connection and bond with the person. And then just, oh yeah, by the way, I'm in $100,000 worth debt, and I know we trying to get us an apartment, but we might have to hold off on that for a little bit. That's a real turnoff. Especially when you dealing with somebody that won't be taken care of and stuff like that. And like I said, with a person like me, I really don't want my woman going to work anyways. What I want you going to work for, if, they don't even know your name. You a number on the slip. That's it. You just punching the clock, you a number on the slip. I can give you that money myself. You can come and build a family. You can come build a life, not build another person's company. So, I'm gonna just end that off right there by just saying, keep your same rules that you do in the States. Take your time, have a positive mindset, make sure you vet, go on a couple of dates. Don't be in a rush to have adult conversations with individuals. If you don't know what adult conversations is, read between the lines. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. There is plenty out here in the world. And if you got a passport, you have plenty of men and women to see and to go date and do whatever you want to do. This is women and men. You got options. If you was in the United States and you felt like, oh man, I went through rejection, I went through this and that happened, and I didn't like this and I didn't like that. Let me tell you something. You're going to go through rejection anywhere you go. It's going to happen. For every one date I've been on, I've probably been rejected 50 or 100 times, because I done stopped and talked to women and they done told me straight up, no, I'm not a street girl. And I'm like, oh. I was like, oh, no, I ain't like that. No, I was just, just want to get your name, see if I can get your number. We can go out and, to the food truck or something. I can get to know you, yada, yada, yada. And they like, no, I don't date tourists. I'm like, no, I ain't no tourist. I live here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, no, I don't do that. But I done been rejected. I done been rejected here more times than I done been rejected in the States. You know what I'm saying? So it goes to show there really ain't too much different when you come over here and you're actually doing real dating, and you're not just, playing the game, because playing the game, we all know everybody wins at the game. Nobody loses at the game. Everybody wins, men and women. But when you just out here regularly dating, you're going to deal with some rejection, and you can't let that stop you. And Oh, I don't want to talk to nobody else. Nah, man, you still got to get out there. You got to talk. And for my women, and my women out here, y'all get rejected too. Don't think y'all gonna come sliding over her and get the Tony with the big G wagon and the Mercedes truck. I ain't saying you can't get them, because y'all definitely can, but just know y'all get rejected too. Y'all definitely go through the same stuff that men do across seas. It ain't no different. So keep a positive mindset on it and don't think too much about it. Just take your time and don't be in a rush, because there is so many people out here to meet, so many people out here that is willing to treat you right. You just got to get out here and meet them, and it doesn't matter what country you in. So to end it, I just want to say thank y'all for watching and thank y'all for tuning in, and I hope y'all took my tips. Thank you.